All right, Shalom. I want to start off, man, as always, by giving our praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Bacha HaKodash. The bonus unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love to the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this Thursday Live, I wanted to do an open forum here through the Spirit of Yahweh Shai. And I only have 2 videos here pulled up. So this should be very sweet and a short, little willing to the Spirit. But these 2 videos are very impactful and they're concerning prophecy. All right. Now, this first video here was put up by the Jimmy Dore Show. And as you can see, the title of this video reads, "The Iran War is a direct assault on the U.S. food supply. Catherine Austin Fitts." Now, this is a video that I've been sitting on since it came off the press, okay? Since Jimmy Dore first uploaded it, I've been having it, in my savings for the Thursday Live. But I think I want to stop doing that, okay? And just go ahead and report on the information that I get right away. So I think I'm gonna start back doing that, man. Just go ahead and report on it, and it's enough information, to bring out on the Thursday Live, where I can just repeat what I brought out some other day. But in the first 10 minutes of this interview with Catherine Austin Fitts, she's cooking. All right, I mean, she is going in. And I remember being at work, listening to it. I was locked in, bro. Like I didn't pay attention to nothing else but what she was saying, because what she's saying is, in so many words, that the MOTB is coming. That this war with Iran and the situation that we're seeing, this is all a setup for the MOTB system. So I'm gonna let her say her piece. I'll try to speed up the video here a little bit, but I'm gonna let her say her piece, man, because she is going in, okay? And then I'm gonna get my scriptures, and then I'll move on to the next thing. All right? So speed up a little bit. All right, here we go.
We have our special guest with us. Catherine Austin Fitts is back to the show. She's an American investment banker who served as managing director of Dillon Read & Company and as United States Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development for housing in George W. Herbert Walker Bush's administration. She's also co-authored a report in 2017 alleging $21 trillion in unauthorized spending by the United States Department of Defense and U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development over a 17-year period. Welcome back to the show, Catherine Austin Fitts. Good to see you.
Jimmy, it's good to see you.
So now, we were just talking briefly before we started about how I'm feeling anxious about the war, and you said that an infection has to bubble up to the surface. Is that how you described it?
Yeah, so I think we have a problem, and our problem is a secret governance system, and that secret governance system is centralizing control into a control grid that will end the democratic republic way of government that we in the United States have enjoyed, will shred the Constitution.
That control grid that she's talking about, brothers and sisters, is the MOTB system being implemented, right? Esau chipping people in the world, and basically, man, just mass surveillance, tracking and tracing everything that you do. You have no freedoms, right? The freedom that you so-called have right now, you will not have them when the mark of the beast is established. So she's on point, okay? She is on point.
And that secret governance system is centralizing control into a control grid that will end the democratic republic way of government that we in the United States have enjoyed, will shred the Constitution, and they continue to do things that consolidate power, and war is one of them. And I think that problem is going to keep getting worse and worse and worse until they fail or we change it.
So
what if instead of designing thumbnails, you could just paste your YouTube link into our AI and it would create scroll-stopping thumbnails?
So the problem, you mean, of secret governance control over us, that problem?
Well, it's both secret governance system. So let me go back. So the fundamental bureaucracy, or the key bureaucracy to that control system, is the central banking system. And the model we've used in the West is called the central banking warfare system. So the central banks print money and the military make sure they take it. And every 80 to 120 years, that system does a reset, which is a monumental change. It's a complete, and in fact, it's a change in which plague laws traditionally have been part of what they do to centralize control of labor and capital and, do their reset. Oftentimes you switch the reserve currency when that happens. And we are in the middle of a reset. And it's a gut-wrenching one because you're talking about unbelievably fundamental changes to the central bank warfare model. They're looking to use digital technology to go to a whole new model that sort of ends currency and goes to a technocratic control grid. That's a once every 500 years event. That's huge. So if you're feeling like you're being rocked and rolled, that's why. It's the reinvention of everything.
So you're saying this reset, when was the last reset?
It was basically the Spanish flu, and after World War I, they did a reset. And essentially, if you go back, the reserve currency was the sterling, and then the U.S. created the Federal Reserve that gave them the ability to then do, between World War I and World War II, a duopoly between sterling and the dollar, and then World War II, it went all to the dollar. And so the last reset basically moved from sterling to the duopoly with the dollar and sterling after World War I.
Oh, okay. And that was, but the creation of the Fed was before World War I, right? Correct?
Right. Before you can have reserve or currency responsibility, whether it's as sharing it with the sterling or sharing it with, or being your own reserve currency, you need certain infrastructure to manage those positions and interaction with other parties around the world. And that was one of the reasons they wanted to put the Fed in operation. But at the same time they brought in the Fed, they did all sorts of things to back up that system, including creating the IRS and implementing all sorts of federal taxation. And I would say they also brought in the drugs and significantly increased drug trafficking in the United States to build the enforcement mechanisms that they also needed. So that, there was a series of different things that happened at the same time they did the Fed, which reorganizes institutions to help to continue to centralize control of power.
And so right now there's a reset happening that is as big as that?
I would say bigger.
Really?
And I would, yeah, because moving the reserve currency from the sterling to a duopoly between the U.S. and sterling, that's a change within the model. Digital technology is fundamentally changing how the financial transactions are done and ends currency. In other words, we went from one reserve currency to two kinds of reserve currencies and then to a third, US dollar standalone, but all of those were currencies. Now what they're trying to do is implement a control grid where you get rid of currencies and you just have, the combination of programmable money with rule systems that give total central control. So
that's the mark of the beast. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's the mark of the beast, man. She's on point. That's what's coming. Okay. They're going to take away your financial autonomy, right? Give you programmable money in the form of the MOTB. Okay. And they're going to have rules and regulations in place to where pretty much if you don't bow down to what they say and do what they do and how they want you to do it, they can simply shut you out of society. This is how the squeeze is going to happen. The hell, okay? I know it's maybe hard to see, but it's going to happen. And for all you camps out there who say that the MOTB is not that C-hip, man, you're lying. You're going off. The MOTB will be programmable money, okay, in that chip. Which is going to have your digital ID a part of that, and everything else about you will be in that thing, man. All right, so she just said a mouthful. Okay, she just said a mouthful, man.
To two kinds of reserve currencies and then to a third, US dollar standalone, but all of those were currencies. Now what they're trying to do is implement a control grid where you get rid of currencies and you just have, the combination of programmable money with rule systems that give total central control. So the head of the Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of central bank, said in 2020, the beauty of the system is we can set the rules centrally and we have the technology to enforce them. Now, he said it with respect to central bank digital currencies, but if you look at the legislation that the US has passed and is passing, they are passing legislation to allow them to do CBDCs privately through stablecoins and digital assets and implement the same control systems. And so, there's been states, and now the Congress is moving to out.
Right, you Americans who, you pride yourself on freedom and do what you want to do and this, that, and the third. All that's about to change. Okay? All of our lives are going to be affected by this new financial system that Esau is coming with. We're all going to be affected, man. This is Bible prophecy. Our Lord Yahweh Shah warns us. Okay? Here we go.
Outlaw central bank digital currencies. But if you look at what they're proposing to do, they're just saying instead of the central bank issuing programmable money that will be used to control you, we will have the banks that own the central bank issue, quote unquote, private money that has the same rule system that can control you. And I'm talking to you today from Tennessee. I've been in the States for the last couple of weeks trying to get legislation passed at the state level that stops programmable money from being able to control you. So what we're saying is, great, you want to do crypto with all sorts of programs and conditions and terms and conditions, that's great, but you can't force somebody to transact that way. You have to give them an alternative, and you can't use programmable money to strip them of their basic constitutional rights.
So tell people exactly what you mean by programmable money.
Okay, so programmable money, let's go back to the COVID lockdowns. Programmable money is money where if I say you're locked down and you can't go a mile from your house, or you've got to be in a 15-minute city, your money won't work further than that. They've got you under surveillance, and they can have a software and AI that can track what you're doing and where you're doing, and then influence or control where you can transact. So let's say under your health plan, I don't think you should eat any pizza that's not made with, other than pizza made with insect-based flour, or you should only have lab-grown meat. Your money won't work to buy real meat. It's only eligible to buy what we say, right?
That's the extreme that these Edomites are going to take it to, okay? It's going to be that extreme. You are only allowed to buy what we say you can buy. And your money, since it's programmable, will only ding or transact or go through unless you buy what they tell you to buy or what you're allowed to buy, right? Cricket powder, Beyond Meat, plant-based meat, whatever, That's how extreme things are going to be, man. It's going to be trying, okay? Hey, our Lord Yahweh Shai said this in Revelation. We're all going to be put to the test, man. Revelation 3:10, it says, because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world. So we're all going to be in that great time of testing, man. But Yahweh Shai promised to protect you, right? Us, Lord willing, okay? From this hell that these devils are going to bring in the form of programmable money. Okay, it's going to be the mark of the beast, man. Mass surveillance, AI tracking you, facial recognition, man, you name it. Okay, everything going to be digitized, bro. There will be nothing that you do that they won't know about. But those who belong to this world, the vast majority of them are going to submit. They're going to submit and take the MOTB and do what they're told. Okay? Most people are going to do that. But as for us in the faith, man, we're praying that the Lord save us from these trying times. Because it's going to be trying, bro. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be very uncomfortable, right? But hey, it is what it is. You'd rather persevere, fight, and endure than to bend the knee to this MOTB system. If you got to give up your car, give up your house, give up whatever, don't take that stuff, man. Trust in the Lord to save you and to provide. Because the MOTB is going to affect our livelihood in this world. Ultimately, right? Your job, food, medicine, it's going to affect that. So the Lord is going to protect us and provide for us, Lord willing, to make sure we get what we need, man. The Lord got to come back and save somebody. We're praying to be that somebody. Okay, so it's going to be trying, man. And what she's saying is spot on. It's spot on.
Right.
And of course, you mean using a credit card or or did something?
No, and one of the bills we were just testifying on this week was to protect cash and keep cash alive, because one of the most important things that everyone can do is to use cash, promote cash, do business with businesses that will take cash, because this only works if we can go to a 100% digital system. If they are able to kill cash, I assure you they will have, we will go from a world where we live in a constitutional republic to a world of complete slavery. It's that extreme. They will.
Yep, it's that extreme. She's correct. No man may buy or sell save he that had the mark of the beast, none of his name, right? Roughly paraphrasing. It's going to be that extreme, bro. So, hey, we've been given warning through the Spirit. We're being warned that this is where the world is heading. As a true believer, you got to pray. You got to fast if you have to, okay? This is going to be trying. But the Lord promised to protect, so that's going to be our hope and trust in that, man. Okay? So now moving on to the next thing here, I get ready to close out. This is from DPC Cars. It says, Jensen reveals the future of self-driving cars and robot at NVIDIA GTC 2026. Now, if you've been paying attention, man, you see that all these different AI companies, okay, here in America, they're all pushing robotics and AI. They're all doing it. NVIDIA doing it, Anthropic doing it, OpenAI is doing it. Oracle is doing it. Elon Musk, right, with his companies. They're all pushing this stuff, man. And guess what? All of this going to tie into the MOTB system. All of it. Okay? But Esau has to have the infrastructure, right, the groundwork laid down. The data centers, okay? The data centers. They're being built right now. So all this data can be collected and stored so that they can track and trace you and so on and so forth. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video, man, so that you can see the knowledge has increased, man. The AI is getting better. They're getting better with robotics, self-driving cars. This stuff is going to be out in public very soon. And it's going to be strange and weird to accept. Like, what the hell is this? You know? It's going to be very weird, man. And wait till they start selling to people personally that they can have inside their homes. Okay? It's going to be weird, man. People making TikToks with their robots and whatever. People falling in love with their robots. All kind of craziness. But here we go.
We also have been working on physically embodied agents for a long time. We call them robots. And the AIs that they need are physical AIs. We have some big announcements here. I'm going to just walk through a few of them. 110 robots here. Almost every single company in the world, I can't think of one, that are building robots is working with NVIDIA. We have 3 computers, the training computer, the synthetic data generation and simulation computer, and of course the robotics computer that sits inside the robot itself. We have all the software stacks necessary to do so, the AI models to help you. And all of this is integrated into ecosystems around the world, and all of our partners from Siemens to Cadence, incredible partners everywhere. And today we're announcing a whole bunch of new partners. As you know, we've been working on self-driving cars for a long time. The ChatGPT moment of self-driving cars has arrived. We now know we could successfully autonomously drive cars. And today we are announcing 4 new partners for NVIDIA's robotaxi ready platform. BYD, Hyundai, Nissan, Geely, all together, 18 million cars built each year, joining our partners from before, Mercedes, Toyota, GM. The number of robo-taxi ready cars in the future are going to be incredible. And we're announcing also a big partnership with Uber. Multiple cities, we're going to be deploying and connecting these robo-taxi ready vehicles into their network. And so a whole bunch of new cars. We have
so to be prepared for more traffic, okay? More traffic. Damn robots on the road, self-driving cars, making a mess on the highway, man. I would not entrust a self-driving robot car to take me through Houston traffic. Hell no, I gotta be driving. Or a human being driving. A self-driving robotic car won't make it into Houston. I bet you that. I bet you that, boy. But anyway, man, I'm gonna close out here, bro. Man, you can watch this video if you want to, but knowledge is increasing. Things are changing, man. But the main video that I wanted to play was this one here, and just highlight what she said, man. The world is heading towards what she just described. That MOTB system, bro. This is so serious. And if you are an Israelite, you better wake the hell up to what's happening in the world, man. But with that, I'll close out. I pray that was edifying. I'll praise you. How about Shema Shai? Shalom.